This episode of the Golf Gambling Podcast from the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Get up to $1,000 deposit match when you sign up at UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code GolfSGPN. The college football team previews are back on the college experience. Colby Dant, Moneyline Mac preview every single FBS game, and you do not want to miss it. Circa is a very fun place. Dom and I have both been there. The resort and casino in Vegas is giving away the ultimate fantasy football experience for a 12-person league. To draft in Vegas and get treated like VIPs for a day, you'll get a limo ride from the airport, $5,000 tab for stadium swim. You can always get 15% off at the Circa with promo code SGP15. Enter the ultimate fantasy football contest for free at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/circa. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/CIRCA. We're back. We're live. Travelers Championship, a staple event on the PGA Tour. I think it's both. We both love the Travelers. It's always a fun finish. Always a fun event. A little recovery after a U.S. Open. But Dom, thank you for joining me. Talk to me a little bit about the Travelers first. Initial thoughts, and then we'll get back. We'll recap the U.S. Open.
Yeah, so Travelers now a signature event, the last signature event, par 70. That's going to play pretty short. Unlike the last few weeks, it's not going to be the driver's not going to be too demanding. You don't need too much off the tee. It's mainly a second shot course, a lot of shorter par fours, pretty straightforward. It's a birdie fest. Like I said, it's a lot different than what we're coming off of a week ago. So gotta kind of change gears and look for some guys who can score and who can throw it close.
Yeah, it's like now the second straight, not the second straight, the second or third straight major where we have a birdie fest coming after. Obviously, JT won at the Heritage, and now we have this event this week. So let's touch on the U.S. Open. We were sweating a little bit. I had a Victor ticket. I'm not sure exactly what you were sweating, but I did you have the CY 100 to 1 or 150 to 1?
I had Burns.
You had Burns?
Yeah. My placements were good. I hit the Grillo ladder. I had a Ortiz top 20 that obviously cashed.
Striper.
And then Cam Young. Had
some
Cam Young placements. I didn't do the outright.
Let's talk about Sam Burns. Like throughout the week, how are you feeling? Obviously, that Friday round was generational, 65 when no one was scoring. Stays there on Saturday, fights hard for 10 and a half holes, and then it all went to shit. So talk to me through that Sam Burns experience on Sunday.
Yeah, to not even really have a sweat.
Right.
Down
after 11 was insane.
Yeah. Yeah, to not even have a sweat like down the stretch was kind of crazy. I mean, being at Oakmont, no lead is safe. I think that's pretty evident. It doesn't matter how good you are, how well you're playing. Anything can happen. We saw guys chip from the rough into the rough or from the bunker just into the rough. Like it was a nightmare like the entire time. So no lead was safe, but obviously I felt pretty good. And then, that ball where he had the rules officials come over and didn't get any type of relief. And then obviously that video surfaced on Twitter, which I didn't even need to see that video to know like what that ball was sitting in. Like watching it live, you could just kind of see the way he was walking around it and see the way that the fairway, it was soaked. I can't believe they made him hit that ball.
I want the USGA to come out with a statement on. They said because his feet were not standing in an area that wasn't wet, but he was hitting out of a legitimate puddle.
Right.
I was there all week. Obviously, I saw how wet these conditions were. And right when he called over for the second time, I was like, this has to be really bad. They showed it. And then you saw what happened when he swung. The ball, just club face just closed down as soon as it hit the turf. Hooked it way left, obviously. And from there, you're just dead. You're just dead. So it was tough. But shout out Bob Mack. We didn't have any Bob Mack love last week, but he's a U.S. Open. He's a National Open. When par is a good score, you play Bob Mack.
Yeah.
And it was good to see. On my end, I sweat Victor. You can't 3-putt 7 times. Like I don't know what else to say. I'm not mad. He fought hard. He had a chance to tie on the 72nd hole. Like you tell me that going into the week with a 60-1 ticket, I take that 10 times out of 10.
Oh yeah.
But you just can't 3-putt 7 times and miss a whole bunch of other 5-footers. It was a tough way to go. But at the end of the day, Victor had heart. He was there. He didn't have his game at some points of the event, and he hung tight. But it was such a good tournament. Like there was a lot of
It was.
back and forth. Like, was this worth it? Was the scores too much? How did you enjoy it?
I think they could set Oakmont as the U.S. Open every year, and I'd be fine with it. Like
It was beautiful. It was
I
glorious.
love seeing that. I love seeing
It
that.
was
I don't know who doesn't. Like, yeah,
there's the
perfect.
people that are complaining. Like we see this once once or twice a year. No, literally once every 2 years. Like that hard, maybe even
Yeah.
more. And like, why are we complaining? Like like they're like, oh, I hate when the rough you have to hack it out. It's not like we see it every damn week. Like there's a
Right.
uniqueness about every single course. You could say a little problem about every single course. Like in Houston, oh, they hit the rough. There's no issue. It's why are we upset? It was great golf. Came down to the last hole, -1, won a professional golf tournament. Best players in the world. -1. One person under par.
Everyone was playing the exact same course, and it's like, I don't know. I think like a 9 under, 10 under U.S. Open isn't all that fun. Like I would much rather have it closer to even par, where the leaderboard's up and down and no one's safe. Like down the stretch, you literally, like, if you had any ticket, you weren't even thinking about cashing out. At least you shouldn't be anyways. But especially here, I mean, if your guy was 3, 4, 5 back on the turn, like you were live.
100%. 100%. It was a great tournament. Shout out Oakmont. I loved every single second of it, but it's time to talk some travelers. So, odds board, what are we doing with Scotty Scheffler? Talk to me. Scotty Scheffler.
Every week we got to do this, don't we?
We have to.
I think I'm just going to take him on.
Take him on?
Like we have.
I have a reasoning too about taking him on. I
don't have a reasoning, so why don't you get into that? Because
okay. Out of all of his wins, I think he has what now? 15 wins, 16 wins. I believe he's gone successfully defended once or twice. This is just all off the top. I don't know exactly the numbers on that.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to go with guys don't defend that often. I know Scotty Scheffler is different, but I'm going to take him on. This is an event where, like the Memorial, maybe 7 guys can win. Like 10 guys are in the mix. Travelers on a golf course like this, like Zach Blair almost won 2 years ago. Like anyone like Brian Campbell, 800 to 1 this week is live. Like he'll hit fairways. He's going to get hot with the middle irons and putter. Every single guy is live. So the field is open. There's going to be some guys with a little bit of a major hangover, U.S. Open hangover. I'm taking on Scotty. Taking him on.
Yeah, and like I kind of said, we talk about it every week, and it's really no different. I mean, I've looked at some without Scotty markets, but then Rory's not what he was 2 months ago. But at the same time, we were considering doing this and being like, well, would you do a no Scotty market when, Rory's in the field? But at this point, I don't think it's that scary to go after Rory. So once you get past Scotty, you have a big group of these guys in the middle where you can – it's the same every week. You can make the case for all these guys, and none of them have done it. And maybe this is the week that one of these guys in this next range pushed through, but it's the roll of a dice.
So I know that you're not going to go to Rory. Who is – and honestly, all week last week on Rory, I was saying – and I spoke with this about you. I was in the field where he doesn't care. He won his green jacket. He's like chilling. He's taking time off from golf. And then I suckered myself into betting Rory after what I saw him off the tee. I was like, it's Rory McIlroy with a driver. Like he got me. And I was right. He's been talking about how he's been taking time off golf and like not being as motivated, which totally checks out. And I don't blame him for. But I got suckered into betting the number drifted and I saw what I saw and I got duped by Rory. Well, thankfully I had Vic for the sweat. So you're not going to Rory. Xander Collin, PC, JT Ludwig are 14 to 25. A guy that you want to start your card with in there, or at least early thoughts?
My early thoughts are between Cantlay and JT again.
So some unserious golfers.
Yes. That's why I mean, realistically, I don't think I get sub 30. I really don't think I get over the edge where I actually bet Cantlay or JT, because I mean, the course history is there for both of them. I like the way like JT, you can or you can see he cares. He was grinding after a miscut on the range, trying to figure out what went wrong. Like I said, the course history with JT, 2 straight top 10 finishes. A no-cut event might take a little bit of the pressure off. And I don't know, I wish I could get more than a 28.
On him. Wait, I want to talk about this real quick. Hate to say it, but Vic needs a lap. Hand up, Vic is not a bad putter. He just had a bad putting week. Like Vic is out of the elite ball strikers, Vic is one of the more consistent putters. He simply just had a bad week putting. I don't blame him for that. So, what was your take on the Vic putter situation? But shout out JJ Spawn with a lap. That was pretty tough.
It's so hard to like take into account what guys did on the greens at Oakmont. Like,
yeah, like they were. Trust me when I tell you, they were a joke. Truly a joke.
Yeah, I mean, you either got hot on them or you didn't, and it's like, I'm not strokes gained putting from last week. I'm not looking at it all. I don't care if you led the field. I don't care if you were dead last. Pretty much throwing it out the window.
Like we both said with Rory, I went with him last week after people were the most bet thing of the week I saw was Rory missed cut. So I thought I agreed with that comment. Like he's gonna come out hot. Everyone's saying he's gonna miss the cut, and clearly, like he didn't seem motivated. He didn't look like he wanted to be there. He talked about on Sunday he wanted to get out of there in sub 4 hours and just head to Hartford. So there's no motivation. I just can't get duped into it again, especially at this number. But he has played here well once before. He's got like a few top 14, top 15 finishes, but I believe it was 2 or 3 years ago. He was leading the tournament by like 2 on Friday afternoon, and he was on 12 and made an 8. He duck hooked one to left, and then he hit it like left again and made an 8, and he erupted. So if he's driving it generationally, obviously he could win anywhere. But this next range that we're talking about, you talked about Pat, great course history. I'm always down for Pat around River Highlands. It's a Pat track. Like you're not going to get really burned betting playing Pat on Pat tracks. Like whether he wins or he backdoors something, I think you're like I think he'll be in the conversation on Sunday. Like you'll see some Pat shots, whether they're missed 3-footers when he's in contention or a backdoor 25-footer for a T3. I think that's fair. I want to talk about Xander because little by little, he's finding things. And last week, the stat profile was the Xander all green across the board. Looks like he's getting back into fruition. And this is a golf course where straightforward, cookie cutter, TPC design, should feel comfortable. Won here before. I think his time is really coming. I don't love that he's the third guy on the odds board because I don't think he's done enough but who has, though, done enough to deserve that. So I think if I had to pick one person here, it's Xander, but it's a lot of equity on a card for someone that I don't know all that well.
Yeah, but we've said before, sometimes when these odds don't make sense, maybe they're for a reason.
Like Mav at RSM.
Because that was probably the thing that jumped out to me was like, I get that he's coming off of a pretty good week, but still for him to be third on the odds board right in the mid-teens was pretty shocking.
Yeah, no, I do agree with you. So let's jump down to this 30 to 1 plus range. Vic, Keegan, I expect Vic to be very popular. Vic, Keegan, Tommy, Sepp, Sam Burns, Corey Connors, Russell Henley, Bob Mack, or everyone from 30 to 40. 2 or 3 guys in there you want to give a nod to?
Hate to say it again, but like this place makes a lot of sense for Tommy, in my opinion. I mean,
I worry about the flat stick.
Yeah, I think we're getting a better number than we have, but the putter's been better than we've seen. I mean, he's gained in 3 straight. Nothing was horrible last week in the missed cut. I mean, he hardly missed the cut. I don't know. Like I said, nothing was glaring. He gained a little on approach. He lost a little bit here and there, gained some on the greens, but will I get there? Again, I don't think – I honestly, Matt, don't know where I'm going to start my card this week. I'm battling that. Like, I have no idea.
I want to find this stat real quick. Okay, I found it. Tommy Fleetwood. This is a golf course where you have to drive the ball straight, whether you're bombing it.
Yeah. You there? We're back. Yeah.
All right, let's hold on. I gotta fix my live
Oh, wow.
Q&A.
I was still live. I didn't even realize that.
All right, hold on. I gotta fix my audio real quick, and then we're gonna get back to the convo. All right, talk to me. All right, I hear you now. We were talking about Tommy,
Tommy,
my stat, my stat,
go back
and
to
we
the
switched
stack
sides.
because that's where it cut off.
This is weird. Okay, the Tommy stat on a golf course where you have to hit fairways, whether you're being a bomber or you're plotting around. Tommy has lost strokes to the field in terms of distance and accuracy for the first time since March of 2023. We know Tommy's very consistent, hits fairways, hits greens, but he's an important part around this course. He's not doing well. So I think I have to be out on Tommy. And plus, I don't trust him to get to 22 under. I love him like minus 12.
Yeah.
So I think I'm out on Tommy in that regard.
I would agree with that. He's not a guy who's going to go out and win a birdie fest. If he does, I think we've said a lot of times that we're willing to miss out on that, and probably the case here.
Yeah, I like Russell Henley a lot here. This is a golf course that he has not really played well in his career, but when you ask what Russell Henley does well, it's TPC Riv High. And obviously the form is there. Looked great last week, looked great on site last week. So 40-1 Russell Henley when he's went off 25-1 this year in these fields, so down. So down.
Yeah, Henley popped for me. Like you said, last week was pretty impressive. Backdoor T10. The irons were on for the second week in a row. Has been really good around the greens, and yeah, I mean, not great course history, but at the same time, he's kind of been there.
Yeah, so I don't mind. Russell here, 50-1, and then we'll open it up a little bit because this is a shorter field. Decky, Berger, CY, Aaron Rai, Siwoo, Mav, Pendy, Harris, Adam Scott, Sungjae Tone. Anyone in this range? This range is kind of weird. Kind of like the range above better, but anyone you like over here?
I'm debating Daniel Berger.
With you there. We're Berger guys.
I think this is a pretty good spot for him. I think the numbers pretty fair. Been solid even in some of his miscuts. Like his irons have been there. He's gaining week after week, gaining with the irons. I think this is a pretty good Berger course. So interested there at 50-1. Another guy at 50 who everyone, including myself, was on last week, Shane Lowry.
Mm-hmm.
Again, back to your Tommy point. Can he win a birdie fest? I'm not sure. Maybe a placement, just because I think he's kind of priced out of where he should be. So maybe you can get a decent top 20 on him, but that number is interesting. And then I think Hideki at 55 is a little bit under the radar. I don't hate what I saw from him last week. Kind of hung in there. The irons were good, and you know that we need irons here. So I think 55 for Decky is a very good value.
I worry about the driving accuracy, but you're getting a 55-1 Hideki Matsuyama who could find it in his sleep. I don't hate that at all. But Berger, he's been solid. I like Berger as well. Anyone else in this range that I want to touch? Oh, Shane Lowry. The thing is, like, he's going to finish T9, but he lost in 2 rounds. I think he lost 6.5 strokes putting. And not that these greens are anything like Oakmont, but they're similar surface, like grass. They're similar grass types. So I said with Shane after I bet him at what event was Shane Lowry that I bet him at the week before Canada when he missed everything.
Memorial.
I'm tell you right now.
No.
Memorial. Yes, Memorial.
Oh yeah.
Had him at the Memorial, and we both I think had him at the Memorial.
Yeah.
And he missed everything before he ejected on Sunday. Then I was like, I'm not going to chase the putter in Canada. And then he ended up playing really well in Canada, losing strokes putting. So I'm not going to chase the Shane putter, but top 10, top 20, I'm all for the Lowry thing. All for it.
Yeah, I think it's a good spot for a bounce back. And even like DFS, I don't think many people are going to be on him because he burned everyone. People don't really forget things like that, especially at a major. So could be a decent spot for a bounce back. And back to Decky real quick. He was never a guy who I thought would win a birdie fest until Century. Not that Century is anything near this, but I mean, Travelers has played as one of the top 12 easiest courses over the last 2 years. So I guess you never know.
Well, let me tell you this. I have something for you. Kapalua, Scotty T5, Keegan T4, Xander win, Harris win in the year that they won the Travelers. So there's definitely some crossover there with Kapalua. Shout out Vincerix for the stat.
Wow.
All right, next. Yeah, isn't that a good stat? Isn't that a good stat?
Sold.
Yeah. All right, so 2 quick ads, and then we will get into the rest of the odds board. We're brought to you by MyBookie.ag. MyBookie is your place to bet on every sport, including the NBA Finals and Stanley Cup. They accept customers from a ton of locations, easy deposit, and lightning-fast payouts using crypto. Head to MyBookie.com, promo code GOLF, SGPN, for 100% deposit match up to $1,000. MyBookie.ag, promo code GOLF, SGPN. Underdog pick'em. Underdog is going long for the NBA Finals with their extender bonus. Hop in game 1, and the longer the series goes, the bigger the bonus gets. Sign up with code GOLF SGPN to claim your special pick, plus first-time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus credits. Underdog Fantasy promo code GOLF SGPN. All right, Dom, let's open up the odds board. You can go from 75 to 100 because this is a shorter field. So rip a few long shots, and then we'll send it back and give our bets.
All right. I'm going to start 100 to 1 Harry Hall, a guy who leads the PGA Tour in birdies made. Overall, rates out pretty good for me, so I'm going to go debate that. The form's been pretty good too. I mean, he's consistently been there. He's had, 3 top 20s in his last 4 events, so don't mind Harry Hall at 100. Ready for a disgusting 125 to 1?
Ben on?
Davis Thompson.
No, that's not disgusting. That's not disgusting.
I'm chasing ceiling. I
understand
exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah, I understand nothing's really going on here with Davis Thompson. But at the same time, look what he did at Oakmont.
Yeah.
Gained off the tee, and he honestly didn't really lose much anywhere else. Pretty much played even with the field everywhere else. His first win on the PGA Tour last year at the John Deere Classic was at 28 under. Like I said, no cut event, chasing some ceiling, 125 to 1 on a guy that I had extremely high expectations on for 2025.
Yeah, I love it. I'm going to go with Sam Stevens. Sam Stevens, a sneaky T23 at Oakmont last week. And this dude is so accurate off the tee. And he's got plus distance as well, 100 to 1 or maybe even longer in some spots. I spoke to Sam Stevens' caddy around TPC Sawgrass, where he played okay there too. And he said that Sam likes courses that are tight, that you have to drive it and play. So he's telling me that, why not run him out at TPC River Highland? So I'm down for some Stevens. And another long shot I like in this range is Bud Cauley, 90 to 1. Bud missed the cut last week, but he was in good spirits. I talked to him ahead of the event last week. He said he likes the course. Obviously didn't pan out well, but think of a golf course where Bud got into the mix. TPC Sawgrass. Great comp, and he's done it at Colonial, another golf course that's pretty tight up the field. You have to hit your spots. So Bud and Stevens, guys that I want to give a nod to in this long shot range.
Steven Yeager, 175's pretty interesting too.
First or last. I love it.
Yeah, that's the plan this week. So don't mind that. And then there was one more I wanted to touch on. Oh, what are your thoughts on Akshay?
Okay, Akshay. I bet Akshay here last year, and he obviously got into the mix before he missed a 4-footer on 13, which is the par 5, And then on 15, the next hole, he drove it into the trees, like just straight left. And then, but he ended up getting it up and down. His tournament was done after that. So I like Akshay in that regard because he is a guy who drives it straight and hits middle irons and wedges well. Like, remember we talked about him at Colonial. He was losing strokes on approach every single week. Then I was like, all these courses that he's losing strokes are long iron courses. He gets to Colonial and he hits it really well. So I'm down for Akshay. I think it's a good number, 75-1. I think it was similar to last year.
Yeah.
I do not hate that at all. So you want to circle it back, let's do 2 outrights and like 3 positionals this week because this is a weird field.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna
because we don't 100% know where we're going outright yet. So
I'm gonna start it with Hideki Matsuyama at 55-1. Liked what I saw last week at Oakmont for the most part, and if he can get the irons hot, I think he should be all right.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a week where you spray the board. Like maybe one guy at top and then go down, but I might be with you and starting at a decent price. So I'll start with Russ Plus Henley, 40-1. Like I said, doesn't have the best course history in the world, but it asks you. This is a golf course that asks Russ questions, and he does those things well. Hopefully, he can get the putter going. He's been a better putter on all surfaces the last year and a half. So I'll give Russ a shot at this good number.
And then my second one, I'm going to go down to 100 with Harry Hall. The form's been pretty solid. Guy who makes a lot of birdies, can do the ladder with his placements as well, but I'm going to go down to Harry Hall at 100-1.
All right, I like that. I'll go with Nick Taylor. Three straight made cuts, a 4th place at the Memorial, T13 at the U.S. Open, and a T23 at the U.S. Open. He's gained strokes ball striking in 3 straight starts, and this is a fairly benign track. He doesn't have the best course history here, but there's absolutely no reason why Nick. Like if you win at Waialae, you can win here. So I'm down for Nick Taylor at 90-1. So he's my second outright. Let's do 3 positionals. You want to start us off?
3 positionals?
Yeah, I got 3 top 20s.
Yeah, let's go Davis Thompson, top 20 plus 335. Like I said, not a whole lot's really working for him, but he won a Birdie Fest last year at the John Deere Classic. Did pretty solid at Oakmont last week, decent off the tee, and a guy who can spike at moment's notice. So Davis Thompson, top 20 plus 335.
All right, I will go with a guy who finished 3rd here last year, 3rd at the Players this year, Tom Hoagie plus 220. And what does he do? Hits fairways and is a great wedge player. So not going to overthink that one. My second positional will be, I just had him. Oh, Austin Eckroat plus 350. Having a down season this year, but this is definitely an Eckroat course where you need to hit fairways and be a great short iron player. And I think it's a good number, 3.5-1 on the top 20 for Eckroat.
That's interesting. I almost brought him up when we were doing outrights because you get a 250-1 on an each way for him. Another guy who we keep bringing up about a letdown season, and it's eventually got to turn, right? He's not this bad. He is not this bad.
No, I don't have a problem with Eckroat at all. I do not. Want me to give my last one, or you have one?
Yeah, go ahead with your last.
All right, top 20, Ben Griffin plus 115. If you're riding the Ben Griffin wave, just keep riding it. All the dude does 2 back-to-back major top 10s, runner-up at the Memorial, win at the Schwab. Like, he's striping and he's so confident. Like, talk about Xander all green. Go look at Ben Griffin's stat profile. It's
more than all green.
It's actually funny. It's funny. So, BG top 20 plus 115. You got one more?
That is all I had.
All right, let's ride. Comfy 30 minutes with Dom. We're good for the week. Any questions? You know where to find us, and we'll be back next week for JDC. JDC next week, maybe. Might be.
I don't even know.
I think it might be JDC, Scottish, then the
Rocket
Open.
next week.
Rocket JDC then. Okay.
Yes.
All right, Rocket. That'll be a fun one. Dom, thank you for joining me as always, and we will catch you guys in a few days. Peace out.
See ya.